Tuesday, June 20th at 6:35 p.m. The Long Island Ducks bring you Atlantic League Baseball all summer long at Bethpage Ballpark in Central Islip. For the full schedule, tickets, and other information, you may visit liducks.com. We'll be talking hockey next on Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hi. I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
Yeah. Hi. I think I found your kid's stuffed animal near the swing set. Just want to call. I'm sure she misses it.
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off. The toy was a little muddy, so I cleaned it up, and it's good to go whenever you're around.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger and give all of our kids the meals they need to grow. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Okay.
Yo. Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out.
So we have to talk about weddings. If you're going to the wedding, you need to bring a drone with you. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Why?
Because that apparently is the hot gift to give at a wedding right now.
Oh, to give. Okay.
I
money was the gift.
Apparently money is so 2016. We don't do money.
Give me
anymore.
money.
Money is the out thing, and now you need to give gifts, including outdoor pizza ovens.
Outdoor pizza oven.
Yes. Or games, including Scrabble, which makes no sense to me. Why would you give Scrabble as a wedding gift?
I would never want a drone.
Yeah, let me tell you right now. If I get married and somebody gives me a drone or Scrabble, not to be ungrateful, but I'm going to be pissed. For real, like
You'll spell it out with the right number of letters to make sure you can get the triple word score.
Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings at 9. Yeah. On the Voice of Nassau Community College,
90.3 WHPC.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold
I want to
day.
be a football
I want to be a
stadium.
bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Beyond the Game on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Jacob Valk, and I am out of breath because I was jumping for joy that we were able to give away the Ducks tickets. Richie from Shirley was able to get them. Congratulations to Richie. You're going to see some exciting Atlantic League baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing better than that. Man, I love going to Ducks games. I really do. They're a lot of fun. You can follow me on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Sitting across from me, Brandon Johnson, who you can follow on Twitter at StephJohnson_.
Yeah.
Dominic Arbolino, who you can follow on Twitter at Darbs5258. And Eric Fischetti, who you can follow on Twitter at Sergeant Fish.
I'm going to go follow him right now. Glub.
How about that bed music? You guys were rocking out to that bed music, right?
Yeah. You can't catch it right now.
Always.
Jacob, you too hype.
I'm excited that we were able to give away the tickets.
Yeah, it feels good.
Why? You know why I'm excited to do it? Because I truly believe that our listeners are the best listeners in the world.
Yeah.
As God is my witness, I truly believe that. And the fact that we're able to give back to them by giving them Ducks tickets means the world to me. That we're able to show our appreciation by giving them Ducks tickets.
True. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, think about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of other radio stations are able to do this. We are. That's
true.
amazing, right?
That's true. No, you're right.
So, let's get to hockey. We're 2 games into these ridiculously crazy Stanley Cup finals. If you were that's the understatement of the year, right?
Yep.
I'm very glad that Eleanor isn't here right now.
Thank God. we love Eleanor, but this is if this was a show to miss, this is a good one. This is the one to miss.
For real. I mean, I've watched a couple highlights, man. It's crazy, man.
I mean, if you were to tell anyone how this was going to unfold, they'd have you committed into a mental
I'm
asylum.
so upset. The run,
I didn't see
the
it
run I've been on with the
I
Preds.
know you brought me down with
They're
you,
not
man.
done yet. They're not
I know they're
done
not.
yet.
I know they're not. They're heading to Nashville, so let's see what happens now. But the thing is, the thing you got to question though is what are the Preds going to do regarding the goalie situation? I mean,
I am so glad you brought that up. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
It's all right.
But
This
if
is a
I
big
was
thing to talk about.
If I was Peter Laviolette, the second I got on that podium, I'd have announced UC Saros is starting Game 3. Because Rene has let in a bunch of soft goals. He has been horrible. He has single-handedly sunk the Predators. The Predators have been playing well.
And what stinks though is that Pekka Rinne has been good throughout the whole playoffs.
Yes, he has.
Yes. That's what's weird too. Throughout the whole Western Conference, he's been dominant, and now you just see against the Penguins, just they're lining him up. So it's weird to see how this can just unfold so quickly.
I think this is where the experience comes in on Pittsburgh's part. I mean,
Definitely,
because a lot of these goals are kind of like, as you just pointed out, a lot of them are soft.
They're fluky goals. They're fluky short-side
Also,
goals.
not to mention, Game 1, Nashville should have won that game.
Easily.
Easily. 37 minutes without a shot, and you're going to tell me you're going to lose that game 5-3?
If I was a skater for Nashville, I'd have hit Pekka Rinne with my stick.
That's just
because
ridiculous.
I did everything in my power to win that game, and you let in 4 goals. Because the fifth one was an empty netter, right?
Yes.
So he let in 4 goals.
And
you
also,
let in 4 goals on, what was it, 11 shots?
Yeah, and the fourth one was the first shot after the 37-minute drought for the Penguins. The first shot after that 37 minutes was a goal.
I mean,
and
part of that...
Frankly, it was a great goal.
Part of that could have been rust, because I think Brian Boucher had alluded to that in the broadcast, that he hadn't faced shots in a while, so he might have been rusty. But as a skater, what are you supposed to do? Every 5 minutes, you're supposed to let your goalie face a shot? Is that what you're supposed to do? I mean, that's not how it works. You're paid one job. Defense, and it just, oh man, Pekka Rinne looked like garbage.
He did.
Number to call if you have something on your mind is 516-572-7440. And let's get to the local teams again, specifically our favorite team, guys, the Islanders.
Yay.
According to Robert Brodsky and Jim Baumback of Newsday, by the way, the show after this week's LA News with my pal, Bill McIntyre, will be interviewing Jim Baumback. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a really good interview. I'm definitely going to be listening. The Islanders won't play at the Nassau Coliseum next season, despite an agreement to do so by Bruce Ratner in his lease with Nassau County when he was allowed to renovate the Coliseum. According to NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, the possibility of the Islanders playing at the Coliseum wasn't even discussed by team owners. Eric, what do you think of this whole situation?
I mean, at one point, you kind of see this as like a tease, because even though it probably wasn't going to happen anyway, the thought of it happening again, like our favorite hometown team, probably the reason why we became Islander fans was because they were so close. The possibility of them coming back was, a great thought to think of, like, okay, we get our team back, like, this is great. But then, I'm not going to lie, I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, but the thought of it made me, like, have hope in a way. But besides, isn't the Coliseum too small now to hold a NHL team?
Yes, it's way too small.
So how would they accommodate that? Like, how can the NHL step in at that point to have the Islanders play there to begin with? Because if it's going to be the smallest arena in hockey, just say, as a hypothetical, if they do go back, it's going to be the smallest arena. So I don't think it would work, honestly.
No, yeah, I agree with you on that point. I mean, like, to have them play, like, maybe a game or two there, like the agreement was at first, all right, fine. I guess they can reason that with it being so small, but an NHL team can't play in an arena that small. It's just not going to work. That's
They'd
why
have to sell out every game.
Yeah.
And they weren't going to do it.
No. You even, like, even when they were good at the... I think
Coliseum.
It was, they didn't sell out.
No.
You can go to Tuesday games, and it was, like, the tickets were really cheap, and barely anyone was there.
I think the parking was more expensive than the tickets.
Yes, it was.
They're ridiculous with the parking.
The only time you ever saw it...
$40, I think?
The only time you ever...
That's the new Coliseum.
I think it was $20, I believe. I think it was $20 to park there?
Somewhere, 20 or 25, like somewhere around there.
But the only time you saw the Coliseum sold out was either for a playoff game, or if it was, like, a promotion, like, Kids Day.
Or Islanders Rangers.
Or Islanders Rangers, yes.
I'm sure
yes.
concerts, too.
Opening night.
I'm
just talking about sports.
For the Islanders.
Oh, okay, the Islanders.
Islanders Flyers would sell out. Islanders Canadians would sell out.
I feel like
For some
Islanders.
reason, the Montreal fans traveled. It was weird.
It was.
Yeah.
I was at an Islanders Habs game. There were a lot more Canadians fans than Islander fans. I was actually kind of shocked.
Yes, there were.
And you know what? You just alluded to pretty much anyone in the Met selling out the Coliseum. I think that's true. I mean, like, even when Western Conference teams would come into the Coliseum, the Islanders would own them, and the arena wouldn't even be sold out.
That's true.
Of course not.
Kind of like, for example, the Ducks. Every time the Ducks would come into the Coliseum, it would usually be like a 5-2 game. More times than not, I remember one, it was 5-2, and then the same thing happened at the Barclays Center. For some reason, the Islanders own Western Conference teams. Luxury, but can't happen all the time.
Well, the thing with that is that's the nature of the beast. If you're playing a subpar opponent, you're not going to sell out. If you're playing a premier opponent, you're going to sell out. Although the argument can be made.
The Ducks are a playoff team.
Yeah, if they're playing a great Western Conference team, you're going to want to see them play. I mean, Corey Perry, Ryan Getzlaff, who you know I like. It'd be fun to see him. Corey Perry.
I just want to see them start, they need to decide soon what they're going to do, because they need to start building soon. If they're going to build a new arena, they got to do it soon.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller, you were on Beyond the Game.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Martin from Merrick. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, I was going to discuss baseball, but we can discuss one hockey question first.
Okay.
So, who do you think singing the national anthem tonight?
Not tonight.
I know, tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Carrie Underwood
again.
I hope Carrie Under. You know what? I like her.
No, yeah.
I like her.
I like her.
Ever since American Idol.
And what's the over-under on the number of catfish that are going to be on the ice?
Didn't some guy get ejected for that?
Yeah. I think he got
that
fined.
was funny.
Oh,
I think he got fined now, too.
Well, I was at an Islanders Red Wings game where some idiot threw an octopus on the ice in live play, and Dwayne Rollison had to bang his stick on the ice to try to get the referee's attention. It took the referee 10 seconds to realize what was going on.
I'm pretty sure they do that a lot, though. I've seen that.
Not
during live play.
How do they get animals in there in the first place?
Yeah, that's what I always wonder.
Because Coliseum security was and is still a joke. It is.
Anyway, turning to baseball for a sec. First of all, that was a very interesting interview from the author of the Ken Williams book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I actually think you guys did a good job. You guys asked some very good questions.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, but turning to the real point of my calling in today.
Oh, it's not just to sing our praises? Darn. I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure, especially you do.
I have a massive ego.
Was that a shot?
But the Mr. Bet situation.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know, first of all, let's face it. The person was set up.
What do you mean he was set up?
Provoking, you mean?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you know, the guy or the guy's friends just happen to have the camera ready, and of course you don't hear what the immediate conversation or the language to Mr. Met was before he...
That is true. That is true. The story never broke what exactly was said, but... Hold on. Mr. Met is a children's character. He really can't be flipping people off.
How can he flip somebody off with 4 fingers?
Thank you.
That's what I was...
I mean, you know, I'm sorry. That's a disability. Mr. Met...
Mickey Mouse is now disabled.
Mr. Met... Well, first of all, anybody who's a Met fan is disabled.
That's so
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
Tom, the door's right there.
Season is already bad enough.
Don't forget about Sean, too.
But no, Mr. Met has special protected status. And if the 4 fingers isn't enough, what about that giant head of his? I mean, you know, there's...
He has severe hydrocephalus.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that rather than me. But
I could say it.
I just thought, quite honestly, he was demonstrating that he was no longer attached to Mrs. Met and didn't have a ring on his ring finger.
This is the best call in Beyond the Game history. I love this.
Mr. Met.
Either that or he was pointing where all the Met fans should go, out of Citi Field.
Maybe
That's
that
funny.
too.
Take the first plane out of LaGuardia.
Exactly.
Oh, this is why I'm glad the Yankees don't have a mascot.
The Yankees had a mascot. Do you know the story of Doodle?
I don't.
The Yankees had a mascot, and Marty, you might know this. His name was Doodle, and he was and Eric, you can look this up.